A quick start fuels the Golden Knights to victory over the Arizona Coyotes. Why was Zach Whitecloud scratched last night? And we have What the Friday. That's all coming up today on Locked On Vegas Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
WTF, where's Tony Cordasco? Oh, that's the third segment. Tony always gets mad when I segment jump. So I'm going to segment jump because it's my show today. I am going solo. Tony is running around on the strip handling stuff for that little football game that's going to be going on this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium. I just want to remind everybody, you can catch Locked On Vegas Golden Knights anywhere you catch your podcast Monday through Friday, every single day, Monday through Saturday on YouTube. Saturday is the Chris and Chris edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. Let's dive right into this. The Golden Knights had a very quick start that fueled a 3-2 victory over the Arizona Coyotes last night at the Mullet down in Arizona. This was expected to be somewhat of a slow start for the Arizona Coyotes. Their last game was January 28th. So they've been off a whole bunch of days between prior to the All-Star break and last night's game. Coach Cassidy did allude to that in the post-game press conference, basically saying that the Golden Knights got their first game out of their system, so to speak, when the Golden Knights faced off against the Edmonton Oilers on Tuesday night. So the Golden Knights simply had the better legs to start the game. Golden Knights started the game on time. Arizona Coyotes did not start the game on time, as we saw Jonathan Marchessault get a very early goal just 19 seconds into the game. What you like the best about that play, what you like seeing the most about that play, was the work on the boards that led to the goal. So the Golden Knights got the puck in the Coyote zone to start that shift, right? Just first shift of the game. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Petro makes a very nice move on the boards, chips the puck up off the boards, and Nick Waugh wins a puck battle against Giannis Mosier. And then basically that ends up springing a couple passes. Marchessault finds a seam down the middle. 19 seconds into the game, it's 1-0. Not much time goes by, and all of a sudden Chandler Stevenson finds a way. Again, basically a seam through the middle, right? But this one was a little bit different. You have players winning puck battles this time, creating that. Stevenson gets a rush down the middle, and all of a sudden we got a quick 2-0 victory, or 2-0 lead. Third goal of the game. I like this goal. Nick Hague is on the point, just waiting for the puck to find him, right? You have Brendan Brisson and William Karlsson both winning puck battles in the corner. Puck somehow finds a way to Nick Hague. It wasn't a Hager bomb. It was more just kind of throwing the puck onto the net, hoping good things happen. Puck deflects, goes straight up in the air. Connor Ingram can't track the puck. And now the Golden Knights, that put the Golden Knights, I believe, up 3-1. Interesting moment in the first period. We have William Karlsson scoring a would-be power play goal that was not. So let me explain why the William Karlsson goal did not count. William Karlsson is basically on the doorstep. His body is about even with the goalpost and the goal line just to the side of the nets. Karlsson brings up his right hand to simply stop the puck, and he tried to deflect it down to his stick. In real time, it looked like Karlsson made a brilliant play. He basically batted the puck to himself. He hit the puck in the net with his stick, and the Golden Knights got a goal. Not so fast. The play would be reviewed, and what actually happened was William Karlsson deflected the puck with his hand or with his forearm, whatever it was, directly on net. It did bounce off goaltender Connor Ingram, who wound up getting pulled, even though that goal did not end up counting. So here is how the rule works involving an illegal contact with the puck. Let's call it that. If you deflect the puck, whether it's your arm, if you kick the puck in a distinct kicking motion, not a deflection, a distinct kicking motion, or a high stick. Any one of those three occurrences, if any one of those three things happen and the puck either goes directly into the nets or if it deflects off of the goaltender, it's not going to be a goal. So I know some people saw that in real time. They're like, why did that not count? Well, that's the short version. Reminds me of my Blackhawks fandom days. I don't know if it was a Stanley Cup final against the Bruins, but it was that playoff run definitely where Andrew Shaw headbutted a puck into the net. It was the wildest thing. Go on YouTube, just type in Andrew Shaw headbutt. And at the time, we had no idea what happened. Obviously, you can't score off a headbutt, or you can't score off a high stick or a kick and stuff like that. I honestly wasn't sure if you could headbutt the puck or not. Well, you can't headbutt the puck. So what I liked about this victory in the first period, especially in this game, it was the identity on display, right? The Golden Knights are really good off the rush. They're also very good at winning puck battles, things that Coach Bruce Cassidy mentions so frequently. Well, that happened It happened in the first period. All three goals were either rush goals or as a result of winning puck battles or winning puck battles that created a rush. So it was very nice to see the Golden Knights find ways to score off the rush and also generate things from below the goal line. You saw that against Edmonton on Tuesday. Now you're seeing that against Arizona. So the Golden Knights are finding more ways to score goals. Nick Waugh gets on the score sheet again. I think it's 6 straight games with the points. What is Cassidy going to do when Jack Eichel returns? Cassidy even joked, I think it was before the All-Star break, about that Jack Eichel guy weighing down that first line. Obviously, it's a joke. He's not knocking Jack Eichel, but Nicholas Waugh has really given Coach Cassidy something to think about once Eichel can come back. We're probably a matter of weeks away from that happening. We're going to hit that a little more in the second segment as we discuss why Zach Whitecloud was scratched in Thursday's game. A couple more notes about this game. Adin Hill, man. I was concerned that Hill wasn't going to play this game. I was not concerned if Logan was going to start. That didn't bother me at all. But Adin Hill did not practice on Wednesday. Kind of odd there was no media availability on Wednesday after the Golden Knights practice, or nothing was reported from the team or any of the local beat writers. And myself, I didn't have the time to make practice on Wednesday. So Adin doesn't practice on Wednesday. All signs pointed to Logan Thompson potentially getting the start based on the schedule. The Golden Knights got some gaps between their games right now, but Adin Hill gets the start and another remarkable performance. First goal of the game that the Coyotes got, Pietrangelo turnover. That's one that was the main issue with that first goal. You're not seeing that talked about a lot. Pietrangelo turns the puck over. You get a shot from the Coyotes' point, deflected. Nothing that Adin Hill's going to do. Although my good buddy Doyle mentioned that it was another glove side goal given up by Adin Hill. Stop it, Doyle. Stop it. And then the second goal given up, this is just fluky. Coach Cassidy basically called it as such as well. Nick Waugh takes a shot. The defenseman for the Coyotes, he just clearing the puck. He had no idea that Clayton Keller had just made a line change, was actually streaking behind the defense. And Clayton Keller is so fast. Once he's in like that, once he has that type of speed, no one's going to slow Clayton Keller down. Keller takes it in, beats Adin Hill on the blocker side this time, Doyle. Beats Adin on the blocker side. What are you going to do? The Golden Knights weathered the storm with the Arizona Coyotes net empty for about the last 2 or so minutes of the game. And all of a sudden, the Golden Knights are now up to, is it 8-2 in their last 10, 7-3 in their last 10? What is it? See, this is where I miss Tony. I can do this stuff while he's yapping. I got to do it on my own time now. Golden Knights are 7-2-1 in their last 10. Improved to 12-10-4 away from T-Mobile Arena. Although I have to guess by listening to the crowd last night that the mullet was the T-Mobile Arena south. Get my directions right. Southeast. There we go. That is all the notes that I have about the Golden Knights 3-2 victory against the Arizona Coyotes. I got one more note. I lied. Standings update. Big game for the Golden Knights. Golden Knights now have 9 points of separation with the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers do have some games in hand, but the Golden Knights have those points banked, whereas the Oilers need to score points to catch up. But there is a small gap now in the winning percentage or the points percentage between the Golden Knights and the Oilers. The season ended today. The Golden Knights have a 654 points percentage to the Oilers 641. So there you go on that. Vancouver Canucks, they lost 4-0 to the Bruins. So now the Golden Knights trail Vancouver by 5 points. Vancouver does have one game in hand, but we're starting to see it. Coach Cassidy mentioned this is part 3 of the season, right? This is where the team kind of really comes together, and we saw that last season. We saw how well the Golden Knights played in the final third of last season. So that's all the notes I have about the Golden Knights' 3-2 victory over the Arizona Coyotes Thursday night at the Mullets. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Zach Whitecloud. Why was he scratched? Is there more to read into this? We'll talk about it in a second. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Welcome back to Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. I'm going solo today. Tony is up and down the strip getting ready for that big football game on Sunday. I'm sure we'll have him back on Monday. He'll have some good stories about everything happening with that football game. Make sure you check out the Chris and Chris edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. That's tomorrow on Saturday. That is a YouTube exclusive. My son, Chris, he's 9 years old. We have such a fun time. So I do appreciate everyone that does take a few moments out of their weekend to check out the Chris and Chris show. Okay. Why was Zach Whitecloud a healthy scratch Thursday against the Arizona Coyotes? What could this mean, or does it mean anything? With the Golden Knights, it always means something. Now, is Zach Whitecloud on the trading block? I don't think we're going to go that far. Whitecloud is locked up at a $2.75 million average annual cap hit through 27-28. So, I mean, I'm sure Whitecloud could probably bring in a very nice haul if he was on the trading block, but I don't think that's what this was necessarily about. Daniil Miromanov drew in Whitecloud's place. Miromanov does move the puck better on the power play and is a more mobile defenseman, kind of along the lines of what a Shea Theodore brings to the team. Obviously, there's a talent gap between Theodore and Miromanov, but I think Cassidy was trying to see what Miromanov could bring. Miromanov's been gone for 13 months. He has not played an NHL game in over 13 months. Various injuries have kept him away from the team. So for Daniil, it was very nice to see him simply get back on the ice. He is such a liked player. I still remember when Ashley Weiss asked him about when he scored his first NHL goal about probably 15 months ago approximately. What's that phone call going to be like to your parents? And he just biggest smile and said, "We did it." And you can tell he was getting a little bit emotional and stuff. So you can't help but to really appreciate Daniil Miromanov. To the business side of this, though, why did Zach Whitecloud get scratched? Why not Caden Korczak? Why would Korczak play and Whitecloud get scratched? So is there maybe an injury issue with Whitecloud? Something lingering? Was it precautionary? Precautionary. That's a 4-letter word in these parts. Let's not use that word anymore. There's a chance Whitecloud was a bit hobbled, and maybe the team is just being quiet about that. I personally think the reason Miromanov drew in to this game is, first, the Golden Knights need to see where Miromanov is. They need to see where he is in his rehab and if he is ready to make a contribution. You're starting to get a logjam of defensemen on the Golden Knights right now. On the active roster, it's Pietrangelo, Martinez, McNabb, Whitecloud, Haig, Korzak, Miramonov. As far as injuries go, Ben Hutton, Bjornfoot, Shea Theodore. Shea Theodore is currently on the long-term injured reserve. All of the injured Golden Knights are skating, per Coach Cassidy, about a week and a half or so ago. So that means sometime between now and I'd say March 1st, every player that's injured, including Eichel and Theodore, will be ready to potentially return. That's a problem. Why is it a problem? I'm glad you asked. Because the Golden Knights currently have $2.8 million of salary cap space available. Brendan Brisson and Caden Korzak, they can be sent down to Henderson without risk of going through waivers. They are waivers exempt. That's $1.7 million. 2.8 plus 1.7 with my community college degree that I don't have. That's about $4.5 million. Shea Theodore's cap hit is $5.2 million. The Golden Knights need to find a way to shed approximately $700,000 of cap space when they wish to reactivate Shea Theodore. Now, there could be another injury. This might be a complete non-issue. But if it is an issue, what will the Golden Knights do to get Shea Theodore back on the ice? Miramonov, let's start there. Miramonov needs to be seen. Maybe there's some interest around the NHL for Miramonov. The Golden Knights have 6 solid defensemen, plus you got Ben Hutton and Korzak. Where does Miramonov fit into the mix as far as being the number 9th defenseman on the pecking order? The other option here, maybe simply the Golden Knights would waive Bjornfoot. Keep in mind, when the Golden Knights claimed Bjornfoot, they were probably around the 20th to 23rd waiver claim at the time. So many teams passed on Bjornfoot. So there's a good chance if the Golden Knights were to waive Bjornfoot, he would probably make it down to the AHL, I would have to guess, although you do see a lot of injury issues happening. Golden Knights just waived Braden Pahal, right? They waived Braden Pahal, and the Cal, 1, 2, 3, Gary Flames claimed him. So there is a chance that someone could possibly claim Tobias Bjornfoot, and no disrespect to Bjornfoot, but where does he really fit in on the Golden Knights roster? So, long story short, could Kelly McCrimmon be kicking the tires right now and trading Zach Whitecloud? Highly doubtful, but if it's in the best interest of the team, I'm sure McCrimmon would field the right offers to maybe help something else. But I give that less than a 5% chance. Could Whitecloud have been injured a little bit and they simply wanted to take a precautionary stance? I still hate that word. Sure. Did the Golden Knights need to see where Miramonov is in his rehab? Do they need to see if he is ready to help this team potentially win a Stanley Cup? That's the most likely situation. How do the Golden Knights clear the $700,000 of cap space? Trading Miramonov is a possibility. I know no one wants to acknowledge Miramonov leaving. Neither do I. I like him. I hope he doesn't. The most likely scenario would be Bjornfoot getting waived and either sent down to the AHL or another team claiming him, and then that would relieve the Golden Knights of $775,000 of cap space. So there you have it. That is my long story longer version of why I felt Zach Whitecloud was scratched. All right, coming up next. I didn't even hype this. This is why I gotta go back to podcasting school. I gotta go back to podcasting school. Coming up next is WTF. I got a couple fun WTF What the Friday comments, and then we got some great ones from all of our listeners. I was chuckling as I was going up and down reading them a few minutes ago. So don't go away. What the Friday is coming up next. Okay, we are driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agreed Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. One of the things I love about Indeed is it matches me up with quality candidates who are looking to work in my field of business. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences. So the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent. Listeners of this show will get $75 sponsored job credits to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now. Support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Did you know that if you have a 401k retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. Claim as of Q1 2024 validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of your 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years with 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and additions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker dealer. All right, it is that time. What the Friday? We got some great listener comments. Tony, I'm starting with you. WTF? You sent me a text at 11:45 telling me you weren't going to be available this morning and you left me hanging out to dry to do the show by myself. I'm kidding, Tony. It's all good. Love you, man. But I had to take my shot right there because, well, that's what I do. It's my show today. I can do what I want. So WTF Cordasco for calling in sick. He didn't call in sick. I'm just joking about that part of it. Okay. Mullet Arena. What are we doing here? The Arizona Coyotes are dangling their social media. If you follow them, they've been dangling this carrot. They got the stadium announcement cooking. They are committed to bringing a Stanley Cup to Arizona. Blah, 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 blah. They are playing in an absolute terrible arena. So the Golden Knights put out this video of the walk from the Golden Knights locker room to the ice. For those of you that are familiar with MGM Grand, if you're taking the monorail, okay, here's what the walk is from the Golden Knights locker room to the ice service. It's like getting off on the monorail stop at MGM and walking across to New York, New York. That's how long the walk felt. So this is just not an NHL arena. It's never going to be an NHL arena. I know Coach Cassidy did have some positive remarks about what it brings players back to juniors, college, playing in the smaller barns and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool maybe to do it once, but imagine being an Arizona Coyote. This is your home, for 4 or 5 years. You don't have to get a new stadium deal. It's going to be forever until they get it. Part 2 of this WTF. You heard the press conferences after the game from Coach Cassidy. You hear airplanes in the background. You hear noise. You hear people on walkie-talkies, just talking. It was just extremely unprofessional. So that's my WTF. Mullet Arena is just a big fat WTF across the board. The Coyotes need to get a new stadium or get the heck out of Arizona because, to be completely frank, Mullet Arena is a joke. WTF. There you go. All right, let's check out what some of our incredible listeners and supporters had to say. Oh, Tyler Hillman bringing it early. Snap a win streak from hitting the all-time record. You guys are celebrating too hard. People saying the Golden Knights were celebrating a lot after beating the Oilers on Tuesday. Win the Stanley Cup. You guys didn't celebrate hard enough. I feel like people just throw random stuff in Vegas to hate on VGK to see what sticks. Hashtag WTF. It's totally fair. Golden Knights won a big game against the Oilers. Anyone who beats the Oilers after a 16-game winning streak, it deserves a celebration. And the Golden Knights celebrated just fine when they won the Stanley Cup. If your city can celebrate better when you win a Stanley Cup, then maybe your city should win a Stanley Cup this year. So there you go. WTF as well. All right, let's see here. From Hubert Jaker. WTF, I'm a Vegas fan from Salt Lake City. Should I become a Coyotes fan when they get moved to Utah? So this is interesting. I don't think it's going to be a relocation situation for Utah. I believe Utah does want an expansion team, but I will back up your WTF and raise you a WTF. Why is the NHL even talking about expansion when they have an NHL franchise playing in Mullet Arena? So WTF times 2 between me and Hubert's. Oh, let's see what else I got. Skynet VGK. I really wanted that Carlson Gold account so I could watch Dasko flop around on the floor during the podcast in pain. Instead, you get me flopping around the ad reads. No, I wasn't flopping around. I did well. I did pretty good on those ad reads. So yeah, WTF. Tony he loved that. Like Tony put a tweet out that said William Karlsson got caught cheating and stuff. And yeah, I wanted that goal account too. Beth asked me about the goal, reached out, and then we talked about, I explained why that counted in the first segments. Oh boy, here we go. Tommy Vegas. WTF, VGK needs to step up their WAG standards. Oh boy. This is where I wish Tony was here to read this one. Look at what KC are doing with Taylor Swift. They are practically being handed a championship. Oh, Lord. That's funny. Is that anything else? Is that all the WTFs? I think that's all the WTFs. All right, guys, we are done with the Golic solo edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. Super quick shout out to all of our everydayers. Without you guys checking this show out on a 5-day basis, this show would not matter at all. Quick shout out to the super everydayers who do check out the Chris and Chris edition of Locked On Golden Knights every Saturday. Reminder, you can catch Locked On Vegas Golden Knights Monday through Friday, anywhere you get your podcast, and on YouTube. And then Saturday, we do have the Chris and Chris edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. Thanks again one more time. Look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy the weekend. We got a super weekend here in Vegas. Take